Hello everybody, it's Teddy1 here in today's video. We're going to talk about a fighting game that's been talked about and rumored in the works and that type of thing, and then some of it keeps getting brought up into things and sorts. So, and that is a Marvel vs. DC game made by NetherRealm Studios, hopefully. I have done concepts of this type of thing before, but I want to read you guys a roster that I made that I would like to see, and I think it'd be kind of interesting. And plus, I do have some other DLC guest characters that I could throw in here that are also comic book characters. No, they're not Marvel DC, but I can see them get input in here and stuff. They would be interesting kind of characters. So I'm going to go ahead and read off some of these characters on here and tell me what you guys all think. So we've got our first one right here. We've got Captain America. Our next one here, we got all 5 of the Guardians of the Galaxy members. And I can see all 5 of them being base characters. Just because all 5 of them have different unique abilities, and I think it'd be interesting for them to have. My next one is going to be Wolverine, Cyclops, Deadpool, Daredevil. I mean, Deadpool has to be in this game because I feel like if he wasn't in this game, I think he'd be like it's missing something. The Fantastic Four. I think all four of these would be on here as base separate characters because all 4 of them had different abilities. I don't think I'd want all 4 of them as duo characters. I'd want them separate because they all do different things. And I don't mind duo characters. It's just I don't want everybody to do it. Ant-Man, if they do it with Ant-Man and Wasp, fine, but not like everybody else. Because I feel like that's just lazy. To me, you can create unique ideas for them. The next thing I got here is Ghost Rider, Blade, Punisher, Elektra, Moon Knight after his show. I think he really should be on here. She-Hulk, getting ready to have a show coming here soon. War Machine, Iron Fist, Nightcrawler, Storm, Rogue, Luke Cage, or Power Man, whatever everyone wants to call him. Black Bolt, Nova, Namor, Submariner, Iron Man, Thor, Hulk, She-Hulk, Hawkeye, Spider-Man, Scarlet Witch after the Doctor Strange 2 movie. I feel like she should be in here. And not just that, but she was a whole different character. Falcon, Winter Soldier, Vision, Black Panther, Ant-Man and Wasp. I would like to see both of these though as separate characters though, because Wasp can do different things. Yes, they can shrink, but you can do something unique with both of them. Doctor Strange, Quicksilver, Captain Marvel. The next character I have here is going to be Captain Britain. I feel like it'd be kind of cool to have a Britishy character in here, so that's why I included him in it. The next one I got here is White Tiger, and this is Ava's character. I know lots of people seem to like her more than the male character, but that's okay. And to be honest with you, I didn't even know there was a male character, because whenever I would notice with White Tiger, I've always known her to be a female character, but I didn't realize there was a male character. And from what I understand, she's like the most popular one out of that bunch. So, Silver Surfer and Spider-Woman are my next ones, and Spider-Woman. And then I have couple other characters on here on this list are Miss Marvel, which is has her series out. I included her in here. I feel like her character would be pretty interesting to have on here anyway. Especially some of the moves that she can do. So Miss Marvel, and then another Captain Marvel character I kind of included in here that I think would be really interesting is Photon, which is Monica Rambeau. I think is her name. I think her character would be very interesting. So those two characters are what I have for my Marvel heroes right now. Those are my Marvel heroes. I have some Marvel characters on this DLC thing to include in here too, so there's more. So for villains, I've got Thanos, Ultron, Loki, Doctor Doom, Ronan the Accuser, Magneto, Red Skull, Venom, the Mandarin, Green Goblin, Abomination, Juggernaut, Omega Red, Apocalypse, Whiplash, which is from Iron Man 2, Taskmaster, Electro, Red Skull, Malekith, Hela, Crossbones, Carnage, Ghost, which was on Ant-Man and Wasp, but it's actually an Iron Man villain. I kind of learned that. Mordo, which is on Doctor Strange movie, when it went bad. Doc Ock, Shocker, Bullseye, the Leader, Rhino. I feel like Rhino would be interesting. Black Panther villain, Claw. Baron Zemo, Kraven the Hunter, Mystique, Lady Deathstrike, which is on X-Men 2 movie, and then Absorbination Man, which is on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Kingpin, the Leaper, which is on Winter Soldier, and then he also came back for Falcon Winter Soldier series too. Sabretooth, and then last but not least, Blackheart are my Marvel villains I chose for this. I do have some other villains I'll add in here. I have had in here too. So we've got for DC heroes, I have Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Flash, Green Lantern, Cyborg, Shazam, Green Arrow, Black Canary, Aquaman, Hawkgirl, and Hawkman. Like I said, I feel like both of those characters would actually be interesting as separate characters, not duos. I'm pretty sure they would end up they'd have them as duos, but I would like to see them separate because like you can do things different with those two. Yes, I know they kind of come from the same region and stuff, but they both can do different things with movesets and stuff. So both of those, Supergirl, Martian Manhunter, Blue Beetle, Firestorm, Beast Boy, Starfire, Raven, Nightwing, Batgirl, John Constantine, Zatanna, Dr. Fate, Red Hood, Red Robin, which is Tim Drake, Batwoman, Damian Wayne's Robin, Red Tornado, Batwing. I feel like Luke Fox would be pretty. I feel like Luke Fox would be kind of an interesting character, especially for especially since he's kind of an engineer-like character. And then we got Plastic Man. I think him and Mr. Fantastic would be funny, since they both kind of do similar things. Between him and then Miss Marvel's character. Booster Gold, Stargirl, Mr. Terrific, and he would have like smart tactics too, since this dude's like a genius, like character. The Autumn, Mary Marvel, sorry, which is the side character on the Shazam movie with the rest of the kids and stuff, where they all became Shazam characters. Because I was kind of looking up, side characters from that too, and I guess she's like the popular one of that bunch, so I chose her. We got Black Lightning. Another character from the Black Lightning that's kind of from that Black Lightning pops up is Static Shock. I feel like his character kind of deserves some spotlight time, because he hasn't really had much recommendation. Because like he was in a Injustice 2 mobile game as a character, but not on the consoles. The next one I have is Mira. Arsenal, which is Red Arrow. Catwoman, John Stewart's Green Lantern. This other character added here, and I'm guessing she's an underrated character, so I threw in a couple underrated characters. I don't know and stuff. This character is called Fire or Flame. I can't remember what they call her, but she can do like a green flame ability, I guess. Interesting. The next one I got here is Superboy, Wonder Girl, and Miss Martian, and then Swamp Thing. I think it'd be pretty cool to have Supergirl, Wonder Girl, and then Miss Martian, because obviously if you want, you can do like your own Teen Titans concept characters with this thing too, so that'd be kind of interesting too. And you almost have most characters. You have Cyborg and Starfire and all those, and you can just include those in. It'd be interesting team. For villains, I have Lex Luthor, Darkseid, Black Adam, Deathstroke, Harley Quinn. Did I really just say that? Sinestro, Reverse Flash, Captain Boomerang, Captain Cold, Heatwave, and Griddle Grodd. I feel like those 4 out of those 5 villain concepts of the Flash would be interesting for his rogues. Metallo, Two-Face, Bane, Riddler. Now, if y'all are wondering why I have Riddler on here, I think you can create a pretty cool looking, unique moveset with the Riddler as a fighting character. Because, like, when they made Joker in the DC versus Mortal Kombat game, he was a fighting character off of there too, and they gave him kind of an interesting moveset there. And then when they brought him in Mortal Kombat 11, I think a lot of people were wondering what he was going to bring to the table. And then his skill set there that they gave him was really unique, different, very different, very different stuff. And I feel like you can do that with Riddler here. And with the new Batman movie, he was more psychotic than anything else. And I feel like you can add that with him and do some type of concept with that. So I think Riddler would be an interesting character. Next one is Scarecrow. Yes, he was in Justice 2, but Scarecrow is... I feel like Scarecrow should be in it too. So, next one I got here is Mr. Freeze. Yes, Mr. Freeze and Mr. Cold do have ice abilities, but both of them can do different do different things with their ice abilities, so obviously you can create some things. Next one I got here is Joker. Ocean Master from Aquaman. Killer Croc, Deadshot, King Shark, Firefly, Larfreeze, Atrocitus, Black Manta, Sportsmaster, Blackfire, which is I'm guessing a Green Lantern villain. Be interesting. Trickster or the Prankster, whatever you call him. I know he's a kind of an underrated villain, and they kind of showed him on The Flash. I feel like he could kind of be interesting for him to have some more concept in games and stuff, so I think he'd be interesting, the character be thrown in here. since he's kind of a trickster or prankster, whatever you call him, he can do he can do kind of unique moveset. Like he can do like, I don't know, he could plant a bomb, like he could plant a present or and try to lower you too, and it's like a bomb inside of it. So it'd be interesting what they do with him. Next one I got here is Solomon Grundy. Solomon Grundy, Vandal Savage, Copperhead, Amazo, Brainiac, Bronze Tiger, Killer Mothman, Dr. Selvig, which is on the Shazam movie villain. So I feel like those DC villains would be kind of interesting to have. And then for my DC comic, my DLC guest list characters are for DC. For DLC, we have Steel. I feel like Steel will be an interesting character for DLC. And Steel's that one character that was on the Reign of Superman movie, and not just that, but he was also kind of around when Cyborg was getting turned into, the thing. I think that'd be kind of interesting for him, for Steel to kind of make an appearance on here. And his moveset's really kind of interesting, especially the sledgehammer he brings with him. So obviously they can do some cool things with that. Next thing I got here is a Marvel villain, Deacon Frost, which is a Blade villain. I feel like he'd be interesting to have on here. For my next DC hero character is going to be Jessica Cruz's Green Lantern. I feel like her character would be really interesting. And plus, since they're Green Lanterns, and I know they all have the same ring, but they can all do different. All three do different things. So, and if you notice, I'm kind of keeping, as I add characters, I'm also adding female characters, quite a few different female characters in here as well. The reason is because I notice most fighting games don't have a lot of female characters in them and stuff, and I feel like you kind of want to include a female fan base with this too, because there's some really cool female super characters in these comics too that are really unique and deserve spotlight time as well. So I try to plan on what works with this type of concept. So the next one is going to be, it's also a DC character, and that is Huntress. I feel like Huntress would be an interesting character. The next one is a Marvel character, and this is Union Jack. Hold down here. Union Jack would be an interesting British-like character, and I think her character would be really interesting. And not just that, but it's another. He's kind of a newer character. Not really new, but kind of an underrated character. But he kind of has a similarity to what Captain America is. But his arsenal is a revolver and it's like a Navy combat knife, something there. But yeah, this character, from what I understand, is like a Black Ops or a Special Ops British soldier, so it'd be interesting for him to be on here. The next character I have here is a DC character, and that is going to be Katana from the Suicide Squad movies. The next one I got here, which is a Marvel hero, is a X-Men character, and that is Beast. For my next DLC character, which is also a Marvel character, and that is X-Men character Iceman. For another DC villain, I added Doomsday. I feel like Doomsday would be an interesting villain, especially to go through in here. So, another DC villain I have here is Talon, which is from the Court of Owls. I feel like Talon would be an interesting villain for villain concepts and stuff. For my next Marvel hero character, we've got X-Men character Colossus. My next two that are also Marvel characters, and these two, I guess you could do duo characters with these two characters as well, but I don't know if I'd want that, because they both do different things. And that is Marvel characters Cloak and Dagger. I think Cloak and Dagger would be really interesting characters for a Marvel vs. DC fighting game. Yes, they do work as duos, and I think they'd be kind of interesting. But I think I'd like to see them as a separate character to see how they turn out. Yes, Cloak, obviously he can do like teleportation like abilities and stuff, so they'd be kind of I think those would be kind of interesting things you can do with him. And with Dagger, I think there's interesting things you can do with her as well, so we'll see what they do with those two. For my next one is also a DC character. That is a Blue Lantern character. It's a hero character, and it is I threw in Saint Walker from the Blue Lantern Corps. So Blue Lantern, I guess Saint Walker is kind of an ally to Green Lantern and stuff. So I feel like that'd be kind of interesting to have a Blue Lantern character in here, such as like Saint Walker. And from what I understand, Saint Walker's an interesting character, so that's what I chose with him. For my next DLC character, and this is a DC character, another Marvel character. I am going to add a Marvel character, and that is going to be Werewolf by Night, or Werewolf. He's about to have a Halloween special mini movie coming out here pretty soon, here in October, sometime. I feel like his character will be interesting, and plus it's a werewolf-like character, so I'd like to see what his moveset would be. Hopefully they give him like a nice little brutal like deal. It'd be interesting to see what he does. For next DLC character is a DC villain, and that is going to be, where are you at? Trigon. I think Trigon would be an interesting villain, especially for characters and such. Since you have Darkseid and Thanos and stuff, I know those two would not only collide with it, but I could see them two teaming up, because both of them not only are similar, but I can see them teaming up in a story arc. And another good story arc I'd like to see that'd be really interesting. I think Apocalypse and Trigon would be interesting characters, kind of interesting concept story arc too, or something. For my next DLC character is a DC villain, and that is Steppenwolf from the Justice League movie. I think Steppenwolf will be an interesting DC villain for Marvel vs. DC. My next Marvel villain is going to be Vulture. I think Vulture would be an interesting character for Marvel and stuff. So, for my next DC character, Wait, do I have any more DC heroes left? Yes. For another DC character I have is going to be a villain also, and that is going to be Eclipso. I guess he's like a dark elf like villain character, from what I understand. Kind of an interesting one character, and from what I understand, he's kind of led some interesting things against Justice League. So we got Eclipso. The next character is a Marvel hero character, and that is going to be X-Men character Gambit. So, X-Men character Gambit. Another X-Men character we got here is Psylocke. And that's the hero ones. Our next X-Men one we got here is female character Julie, what they call her. That's pretty much your X-Men character roster there. So there's that. The next DLC character I have here, as last Marvel character I have, is last but not least, I used the Red Guardian from the Black Widow movie. I thought his character was really interesting, and I think it'd be kind of cool to have him kind of put in, kind of speculate in games and stuff a little bit, and I think it'd be interesting to have him kind of thrown in here. So, yeah, he's kind of a Russian, like Captain America character, but and they had him carry around his shield too. But you can, I would think you could do different things with him. So, another Marvel character, which is a hero character I chose for DLC, and that is going to be Mantis from Guardians of the Galaxy. And from what I've heard, from what Mantis does, Mantis knows Kung Fu, but they didn't quite interpret that with the MCU. And I guess, obviously, her telepathic abilities will be an interesting concept, so I think Mantis would be interesting for this game. My last one, my next Marvel character is a villain. Is a Marvel villain, and that is going to be Negative Man, which is a Spider-Man villain. I feel like Negative Man is kind of an interesting villain character, so, and I feel like the thing with Negative Man, I think it'd be really interesting to see him in a game like this, so that's my next Marvel villain character. For my next DC ones I have here, guys, are going to be DC characters, and these are characters from the Watchmen series, a Watchmen show or series movie. They had a movie and they had a show, and that's going to be Rorschach, Night Owl, and Dr. Manhattan. Character. I feel like those two characters would be really interesting for, especially Dr. Manhattan and Silver Surfer, since they kind of seem similar characters. I think it'd be really interesting to see them go at it and stuff for a Marvel vs. DC game. Another DC hero character I want to see that I think would go well in here is going to be DC character Jonah Hex. From Jonah Hex movie, of course. I think him and Punisher would be interesting characters since they both do gunplay-like things. Yeah. So those are my characters for that. And here is some more guest characters I have here. I wouldn't see why not adding the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles characters in here, because they were in Justice 2 as DLC guest characters. I think, since they kind of made an animation movie of the Turtles teaming up with the Batman, that one Batman movie, I think that'd be kind of interesting for them to make a comeback and stuff, and maybe include Casey Jones with those ones, and then have your kind of Ninja Turtles universe there. I think that'd be kind of cool. And not just Ninja Turtles character, but I think it'd be kind of cool to have, you know, Shredder and stuff thrown in here too and stuff to kind of have a villain. But I don't have him on as my list, but it'd be kind of cool. The next one I have on here is the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. I feel like the Power Rangers would be interesting on here because they have had crossovers with DC Justice League characters. They have had crossovers with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and they do have their own unique brand new comics out, which are by Boom Studios, I think is what they call them. But I think the Power Rangers would be cool. So Tommy, Jason, Zach, Billy, Trini, and Kimberly, all six of them characters in this, so they would be really interesting. Especially their intros and stuff. I like to see an unmorph as they come up, and then they do their morph sequence and get ready for their fight. I think that'd be kind of a cool little intro for them, and their dialogues would be interesting too. For my next DLC guest characters, I have Hellboy, Spawn, Eric Draven's the Crow from the Crow movie. The Mask. Now, from what I understand, the Mask in the comics is brutal compared to the Jim Carrey one. But I think the Mask would be an interesting character for this type of game. And I think he'd be like the funniest character on there, not just the funniest character, but interesting. And then for my next one is going to be Judge Dredd. I think Judge Dredd would be an interesting concept here. And then my last two, and these are comic characters too, and they're Dark Horse characters, but I can see Alien and Predator both be on here as like scary horror like characters. And Alien and Predator have done crossover characters with DC characters, and since they're kind of on the Marvel side of it right now, they're getting ready to do some upcoming events with Marvel and stuff now too. So Alien and Predator would be interesting characters for Marvel CC games. So that's what I got here for my list, and this isn't guaranteed, what it could be for a roster, but this is what I came up with. And there are other characters I could see being on here that I didn't really include and I forgot about, but I'm sure those characters will make it the roster as well. But yeah, I think that's all I got, guys. Anyways, post a comment section below, tell me what you guys all think and what would you like to see as a roster, and what you guys think of this roster list and stuff. Obviously, I can see a lot of other characters and stuff popping in here. I can also see, honestly, I can see a lot of Spider-Man and Batman Rogues Galleries villains in this game too, because those types of villains are really interesting. And two, they've clashed with other heroes before and stuff too. I've seen Kraven the Hunter kind of have concepts with Black Panther. So obviously you can do some kind of things there with that. So, but anyways, if you like this, hit the like button, and if you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. As always, I will see you all in the next video. Goodbye.